So, what's up, ladies and gents? Thought I would do another video this afternoon talking about something pretty interesting. So, services on Crossrail yesterday were delayed, were hit with delays between, I think it was Heathrow, Reading and Abbey Wood, as someone decided to trespass on the railway line. Now, obviously, this caused a lot about this incident with somebody choosing to trespass on the railway line, caused a lot of unnecessary delays to people's journeys. Now, to be honest, I look at this sort of incident and I think, well, what the hell was that person trying to do? I mean, were they drunk? Were they under the influence of alcohol or something like that? Because no sane person would think it was a safe idea to trespass on a railway line. You know, that's the most stupid and dangerous thing you could ever do. I mean, you see those signs on the platforms that say, do not trespass on the railway line. Those signs are there for a good fucking reason. Those there, those signs are there to stop you from killing yourself. Basically, to stop you from putting your life in danger. I mean, even if you don't get hit by a train, you're still get electrified by the lines. You know, it's never a safe idea to trespass on a railway line. You know, it might seem like a sensible thing to do, and it might seem like a fun thing to do at first. But I'd take a gamble and it could go wrong. It's like, this is the thing. It's like, why would people want to take such a huge gamble with their lives and put their lives in such serious danger? Because that's what you're doing by choosing to trespass on a railway line. You're basically gambling with your life, and you're putting your life in serious danger. You're putting yourself in a very dangerous position, because you could either get electrified by the railway lines, or they're hit by an oncoming train. It's like, why would you want to put yourself in a dangerous position? I mean, no, you'd have to be fucking retarded to do a thing like that. You know, no sensible person would do something like that. You know, I mean, obviously, it's hard to sympathise. You know, I'm not going to sympathise with someone who has ultimately chosen to do something that was so dangerous and so stupid. It's like, how do you sympathise with someone that chooses to do something so dangerous and so stupid? It's impossible. You know, if it was when it comes to like one-unders and things like that, I'm a lot more sympathetic, because I understand why people, I don't like to judge people for throwing themselves under a train, because, I think to myself, well, you don't know what that person's going through, or you don't know what that person's been dealing with. There could be a whole number of reasons for why they felt the need to do that or chose to do that. They might think it was the only option they had. They might have felt it was the only option they had. People say that, those who choose to jump in front of a train and kill themselves are selfish, but I feel like it's not really fair to call somebody selfish when you don't know the circumstances of what they were going through or what they were dealing with. I mean, obviously, a one-under can be a very kind of, traumatizing incident for, drivers, for passengers as well, for the people on the platforms who see that happen. Thankfully, I've never seen anything like that happen, and I hope I never do. But I can't say I never will, but, I never will. It's like, I'll see something like that happen one day, and I just don't know. Obviously I do feel for anyone who's ever been in that position where they felt the need to do that, because suicide is not the only option. Or it shouldn't be a last resort. It should really be a last resort. If there are no other options, it should be a last resort, but never a first option. Let me put it that way. It's kind of, I mean, the thing is with near miss, and be just as bad, and have just as much of an impact on a train driver as, as an actual one-under. And I mean, I've seen stories from train drivers who have been involved in one-unders or have had a near miss and it's impacted them so badly they've not been able to return to work because that incident has haunted them for for a long time. It had haunted you for a long time. People, it's like, how can you have any sympathy for somebody who chooses to trespass on a railway line? It's causing unnecessary delays to people's journey, but the more kind of important thing about it is you're basically putting yourself in danger. You're putting your life, you're putting your life at risk. You're basically putting your life in somebody, by choosing to trespass on a railway line, you're basically putting your life in somebody else's hands. Even if you don't get hit by a train or fried by the railway lines, you're still looking at paying a very hefty fine. But if people don't get away with trespassing on a railway line, they get caught and they get a serious fine. I think you have to pay about £1,000 fine for trespassing on a railway line. It's just not worth it. The thing is, something like that, it's just not worth the risk. Like, it's just not worth gambling it's just not worth it, to be honest. It's like, why take such a huge gamble with your life? Why put your life in such serious danger by choosing to do something like that? People, as I said, people might think it's a safe thing to do, but it's absolutely not. Trespassing on a railway line is never and will never be a safe thing to do. It will always be a very dangerous, stupid and irresponsible thing to do. You see a lot of youngsters do it, as they think it's a fun thing to do. They think it's fun to play chicken on a railway line. But playing chicken on a railway line, it's all fun and games and laughter until something goes wrong, until a tragedy happens. And we have seen stories where people trespassing on a railway line has resulted in tragic incidents and has resulted in fatalities. Because it can happen. That can happen. Trespassing on a railway line can result in fatalities. It's just not worth the risk. It's like, why would you want to put your family through that? Would you really want your family to have to be identifying your body if you've just been hit by a train healed? Yeah, you don't want to put your family through that. It's just not worth it. Obviously I do feel, I would love to have sympathy, but, it's hard to have sympathy for people who choose. It's not about the fact that they are causing unnecessary delays to so many people's journeys, but it's not about that. It's about the fact that they're choosing to they're basically putting their lives in serious danger because they want to have a bit of fun, and all because they want to do something that's so stupid and irresponsible. It's like, how can anybody in their right mind think that's a safe thing to do? I don't get it. Sadly, trespass incidents on the railways here in the UK aren't an uncommon thing. You tend to hear about trespass incidents quite a lot, sadly. It's like some people are so stupid. It's like, they won't find it funny if a train hit them going to flipping to 190 mile an hour, which most sometimes they are. In certain areas, trains can be going at that speed at 90 miles per hour, or 100 miles per hour plus. It's just not. It's just not worth the aggro. It's just not worth there's absolutely no reason to put yourself in that, to put your life in danger, or put yourself in harm's way. Which is what you're basically doing when you choose to trespass on a railway line. You're putting yourself in harm's way, and you're putting your life in serious danger. Those signs that are on the platforms telling you not to do that, they're there for a good reason. They're there to stop you from putting yourself in that position. For putting yourself in potentially serious danger. It's like, it's like there will never be a time where trespassing on a railway line is safe. It's never a good thing to do or a safe thing to do. And I remember one day we were going somewhere on the DLR, and we were at Landon Park, and he got down onto the track to pick something up, I think it was. Thankfully there were no trains coming, but he probably still got into serious trouble, but it's a CCTV. This is the thing, right? People, I think, the people really think they're gonna get away with trespassing on a railway line. Because you're never gonna do that, because most of the stations do have CCTV cameras. They're basically in operation 24 hours a day. So if you were to trespass on a railway line, it would be very easy for them to identify. And you'll be very likely to get a visit. Well, you'll definitely be getting a visit from the British Transport Police to issue you with a £1,000 fine. And some people might think it's worth paying a £1,000 fine, but just stay away from the railway lines. Don't do something that's so stupid and so irresponsible. But it's not fair to put your life in somebody else's hands, which is basically what you're doing. By choosing to do that, you're putting your life in somebody else's hands. And that's not really fair. You shouldn't be putting your life in somebody else's hands. You shouldn't be taking such a huge gamble with your life and with your safety. It's like, why would you want to put your life at risk or put your safety at risk by doing something so damn right stupid? It might seem fun and it might seem like it's a safe thing to do, but if a train hits you, you know about it, you'll be dead. And you don't want to put your family through that. Just stay well away from from a railway line unless you want your family to be planning your funeral. That's my advice to you. If you don't want your family to be planning your funeral, stay away from the railway lines. Don't be an idiot and choose to trespass on the railway line. I mean, most people would have the common sense not to do something like that, but there are people out there who are who are completely insanely stupid, and would think that was a safe thing to do. And it's idiots like that that really make you laugh. It's idiots like that you can't help but it's hard to sympathise with idiots like that, because they're doing something that's so stupid and irresponsible, and doing something that's so dangerous. It's kind of unforgivable. It's like, why would you? I mean, I don't think it's unfair to assume that drugs or alcohol it was either drugs or alcohol related, or it was somebody messing around, which is probably what it was. It was probably just someone messing around, having a bit of fun at it. I mean, obviously they didn't get hit, but they'll still have to. But they will now have to pay a £1,000 fine because they chose to trespass on a railway. It's just because people think it's safe doesn't mean it is. It will never be safe to do something like that. Railway lines are not a playground. They're not a safe place. They're not a safe place to be. It's incredibly dangerous to do something like that. You think about how often police, the British Transport Police, have to respond to incidents like that. It's just crazy. Just as I said, just because people might think it's safe, doesn't mean it is a safe thing to do. I feel like some people don't really care about the problem signals. They don't stop to realise about the delays. They don't cause people's journey. They just want a bit of fun. but they don't stop to think about how their actions will not only affect them, but will affect other people as well. It's just the thing. You choose to trespass on a railway line, your actions that you choose to take, they won't just affect you, they're affecting hundreds of and thousands of other people. Because you're basically unnecessarily delaying thousands of people's journeys. And for what? If you want to have a bit of fun, or you want to get hit out of putting your gambling with your out of putting your safety and your life in danger. It's not worth it, really, to be honest. And I'm not going to sympathise with people who choose to do something like that because it's so dangerous. It's such a dangerous and irresponsible thing to do. I don't know what else to say, really. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. I thought I would give my thoughts on that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully, well, there'll probably be another video tomorrow. So hopefully I'll see you for that. See you then. Bye bye, guys.